as you know, I'd said I had some college that credits that I had to apply, so that worked here. For understanding luxury, this is a great university, right? I couldn't believe the cars that were outside when I came here today, and then I was like, oh wait, I think that was always the way it was. What can I say? I got to write my dissertation on Jimmy Choo, which was good. My major was in communications, which is essentially, more than fashion, what I do every day.
Yeah.
It is the basis of what I do. Whether it's TV presenting or whatever.
Blogging.
Yeah, or just anything. Even when I had a company, it was more, you spend 10% on design, 10% on running the company numbers, and then the rest of it is communicating to get where you need to get in the next stage of whatever element of the business. So I think that was a great benefit. I also employed a fellow student for about 3 years after I left here, so it was good finding him.
Great internship, people already around you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we understand the progression from your original business, Degrees of Freedom, through to Zandra Rose. That was the period where you were sort of setting up and starting and running businesses. But you also have moved into journalism in a kind of big way. Can you talk about that sort of transition? Because it's not typical of people moving from, I know you've talked about communications, but there aren't many journalists I know who have started up businesses. So how did that come about? What was fascinating you about journalism?
Thank you. And I don't know if I would even credit myself so much as a journalist, as more as somebody who dabbles in writing and definitely will take the TV presenting hat. It was Fashion TV that approached me to start doing presenting for them.
Right.
And I always sort of liked writing. And English, I think, was maybe my favorite subject. And in fact, the lovely Ruby who admitted me, I think that I got the partial scholarship on a magazine that I created, which at the time, the scholarship was the make or break of me getting in here. So that's something I'll always sort of remember about this place, I think, first and foremost, to be honest. So going back to journalism, it was Fashion TV that approached me.
Was this 2011?
Something like that, I think. Yeah, about that. Middle of, yes. Would you like to do some TV presenting? I said, sure, why not? I love people, I love fashion, I love things. I did London Fashion Week for them. That was great. That was then the beginning of now where they asked me to be the face of the channel. It didn't actually, it doesn't fit right now with my long-term plan. But I'm definitely the UK face because that fits right now with what I'm doing. And that's led on to other things. Like, some of the, I've done things for BBC and for Channel 5, and today I've been working a lot on planning out Cannes Film Festival because I covered it last year for Variety, and it looks like I might do that again amongst other people I might be covering it for. So.
Okay, and part of this sort of eclectic media career is also blogging, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
Blogging. So I'm the celebrity blogger for House of Fraser. Whatever that means. I kind of blog what I wear on the red carpet or what my friends will wear on the red carpet and how to get the look at House of Fraser for less. That came about from meeting the chairman of House of Fraser through a mutual friend. After I'd just come from a fashion event, so that helped. I was looking very fashion-y. Blogging, I have done blogging for different sites like Style Bible, I think I did ages ago. I've done The Mail, blogging. I'm talking to a lot of people right now about blogging for them. I actually, no, I did London Fashion Week for a new fashion e-tail boutique that introduces Western brands to affluent Chinese women, which is really exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have an opportunity to go over there in a few months' time and sort of do events to meet their customers, which is exciting.
I remember Susie Menkes, who is probably, with Anna Wintour, probably the other most significant fashion editor in the world, saying that the digital camera revolutionised both fashion design and communication. And I'm kind of thinking now that, you know, social media is revolutionising fashion in a slightly different way. I mean, what do you think?
I read that quote in a Business of Fashion article the other day as well.
About the digital camera?
Yeah.
She's right.
And I thought that was such a great quote.
Yeah. It is. I mean, she used to say to me that when
That's a great website, by the way. Anybody who wants to do fashion needs to read businessoffashion.com every day.
Agreed. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
But she said that in her early careers, when she worked for, I think, the Times, she'd go to a fashion show with a sketchbook and be drawing, you know, the parts of the garments that were walking down the runway shows. And so the ability of Zara, for example, we can come back to High Street in a moment. The ability of Zara to capture that image and convert it into stock in the shops in 14 days, obviously, is to do with its vertical integration, but nevertheless, it's that capturing those digital images and being able to essentially send them back into CAD, computer-assisted design manufacturing facilities. That's changed everything.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some people who will still sketch on the front row. They're very, very few and far between.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed everything. So it's kind of weeded out a lot of people, and that's why I was saying before, it's very important that the high street supports the young designers, because in effect, depending on who you're asking, they're robbing their designs. Mm-hmm. So but we're now in this machine, and there's no going back. So the future of the runway, the way the runway is going to work, it's an antiquated model, and none of the big people have figured out how it's going to work going forward.
So looking at social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and so on, how do you think that's revolutionising the way fashion is? Has it democratised it any further than it has been in the past? It's
totally democratised, like to such an extent. I don't know if it's good. In some ways, I think it's good, but it makes it really hard. You know, some of the big guys can supply everybody with every customer with what they need, but if you're a younger designer, a new designer, you can't just change your fabrics to meet this one demand of whoever, because you're on a factory minimum. I think also post 2008, it's so much harder as a brand, as a lot of stockists now work on sale on return or consignment, and that is it's almost impossible way to build a company. I think it's good that you can get through social media feedback straight away on what people like. And I think that's fantastic. And I think that any smart company will be looking at what is posted, what is liked, and the feedback. Like that kind of connection is new, and that's fantastic.
We've also got the sort of star bloggers, 13, 15-year-olds who are at fashion shows, because they're totally absorbed by the whole thing and have influence. And I think even yesterday there was a news program about some boy who set up a business on YouTube when he was 15 years old and has about 2 million hits, a week or something. And you're starting to see these kind of entrepreneurs coming up, and they're empowered by the tools essentially.
Yeah. Well, someone's got to go viral. So. I'd like it to be me, but...
If you sat in any of those front rows with some sort of what appear to be tweeny journalists, who are the bloggers?
I'm trying to think. Well, a lot of the girls on the front row aren't much older. Yeah, the whole front row's totally changed. You don't really, as I was just saying before, it used to be buyers and editors, and then like 2 proper celebrities. Not like me celebrities, like proper celebrities, right?
Princess Grace and Monica.
Like, you know what, like, I don't know, Eva Mendes or something, I don't know why I thought of that. But now, because of so many bloggers, it is such a pain to go to a show, because you've got like, it was already really packed and difficult getting in, and it was logistically, as everyone knows, shows run late, and then there's one every hour, and so it's hectic. And now you've got all these bloggers, so now you've got all of these people coming in, and whether they have tickets or not, they come in, they try to get in. It's actually quite a pain to go to a show. Always was, now it's a huge pain, and that's why most people I know don't really go to shows, unless it is a massive, like, Top Shop show, Unique I went to, it was like tons of security, and it was just, it let us straight through. Otherwise, all the other stuff, it's, that's getting back to democracy. It's so there's so much democracy now, and anybody, yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing.
There's not much democracy at the luxury end of the fashion, though.
At the what?
Luxury end of fashion.